Hey there, El Hacks, and welcome to this video on the Mind Force library and how you can get the maximum from the Mind Force library. And I'm going to go step by step. We're going to go into each manual, give you an understanding of how you're going to use these. I mean, it's really a great, you can call it a curriculum. I call them manuals because I wrote them as manuals. In fact, I wanted to show you this. I've showed this several times, but back in the early days of the Mind Force method, I didn't have any books published. I had no clue how to do that. And so I would go to FedEx Kinko's and I would get them printed up. You can't really see that well, but I would get these printed up. That's one of my original hypnosis books right there. This is the original internal power centers. Again, printed up at FedEx Kinko's. And this is the original closed door hypnosis files. Interesting. 12 devices that almost instantly hypnotize. And I sold the library like this. And people paid the same amount that they pay today back then for these. And these aren't real books. These were printed, like I said, out of FedEx Kinko's. But it's not the books. The books are really insignificant. See, the books are the delivery system for the knowledge. That's really what it comes down to. So the books, in regard to that, is it really just the conduit to get to the knowledge, right? So you want to get the knowledge that's in the book, and I'm going to give you some tips on how to get that knowledge, because I would say one of my greatest strengths over the years has been creating a lot of different courses and trainings and master classes to have all these different angles and concepts. That's a great thing. But by the same token, it's a little overwhelming for some people. So I'm going to try to break it down for you so that you understand how these manuals fit into how you want to use them, right? So first things first, my newest book is Immersion. And Immersion is, you can see it on the screen there, but you can also see it here. And this is a hard copy book. And I wrote this book, and the reason I'm bringing this up is I wrote Immersion originally for entrepreneurs, for my coaching and mentoring clients. And originally, that's who that book was going to go to, right? Or be promoted to. And after I started writing it, I started adding so much good content for really everyone. Like the first 80 pages have really good information in terms of getting your mindset locked in. And then, like the second half of the book is more of the business type training. So it's a great book. I recommend you read it. I've gotten rave reviews from everybody that's read it. That's read it, right? Every time I give a book away or somebody buys a book, I always wonder if they read it. Now, I know if they read it because they come back and they tell me, how about this? What about that? And then I understand. And they'll usually hire me as a coach or mentor because they want to get better at it. So what you're getting is you're getting the keys, you're getting the glimpse, you're getting the tidbit, right? You're getting the hors d'oeuvre to the main course. The main course is going through the inner circle, going through the master system, having the videos that you can watch. Like, for instance, this has nothing to do with the advanced chi video, but the advanced chi video is one of the best energy workouts you're ever going to have in your life. You're never going to know that workout until you follow that video step by step, until you memorize it and do it over and over and over again on a daily basis, as many of the techniques are. So we're gonna start going through this, and I'm gonna give you some highlights on what each manual really brings to the table, so to speak, because it's all about your results. It has nothing to do with anything else. These books were not designed for you to read and go, okay, that's great information. Although they are made for information purposes only. I don't make any guarantees. I have no idea if you're going to take the techniques to the highest limit or no limit at all. I really don't. So let's go through the library, and let's start with the Chi Power Blueprint system, which is a truly unique Chi training system with focus test. Probably has about, I would bet, 13 different energetic methods within the small book, right? It's not a very large book, but it's got a lot of content in the sense that it gives you practical information that nobody else gives you. And a lot of people have criticized it over the years. Even some of the people that originally were folks that I worked with now say, oh, the Chi Power Blueprint, that's outdated. No, it's not outdated at all. It's not. I mean, these are techniques that are going to work for you today, tomorrow, and into the future. It is a beginning level training though. So, but even if you're an advanced Qigong practitioner, it's going to be helpful for you. Now, here's the thing, advanced Qigong practitioner. Most people that are advanced Qigong practitioners aren't that advanced. And what I say by that is that you can't feel their Qi. If you can't feel somebody's Qi, then they're not an advanced Qigong practitioner. That's the bottom line. So the whole idea behind this is to get you to feel your Qi, others' Qi, and that others will be able to feel your Qi as well. That's the whole concept behind the Chi Power Blueprint. Let me adjust my screen here so we can knock out some of that. I get annoyed when I see those little black things pop up, and sometimes it happens because I'm on a green screen right here. No mysteries. It's a studio, but every studio has a green screen and it allows you to be able to show what you're doing. Okay, so that's number one. And that's going to cover the energy, part of the energy, right? And then the next book manual is the Mind Portal Manual. Now, each of these manuals have a full-blown curriculum that goes along with them. That's why when you buy the Master System, you get everything. The Mind Portal is part of the Mind Portal course. Now, when I first started, I actually wrote the courses first before I wrote the manuals. And so the manuals were a secondary thought. I created the course first, then the manual. And so the Mind Portal is all about meditation. It's about relaxation. It's about esoteric meditation, such as astral projection, remote viewing, lucid dreaming. But here's the thing, is I break things down to its simplicity. I mean, you can find entire books on lucid dreaming, remote viewing, I have those books. I read those books. I think they're great. I was just listening to a program on lucid dreaming not that long ago, and it was 16 hours of training. A lot. You can get results way before you get through those 16 hours. I don't know if I even completed it. But the fact of the matter is, it's all in this manual. It's going to get you your start. Does that mean that you're going to be an expert after going through the manual? Maybe, maybe not. But again, it's the hors d'oeuvre. If you consider the hors d'oeuvre your meal, then that's quite possible. So that's number 2. Number 3 is internal power centers. Internal power centers is all about psychic energy, psychic power. And it's truly one of the best volumes I've ever created. I go into in-depth detail on how you can awaken your psychic awareness and your perception skills. And just like Mind Portal and Chi Power Blueprint, there's a course that goes along with it that goes step by step through the whole process with videos and audios and so forth. Well worth it if you want to get good at psychic perception. But none of these courses work well if you're going through it just by, blazing through it, reading it, or it's information. Oh yeah, that looks good. See, a lot of times people come to me and say, oh, I know that technique. And I'll say, well, you may know that technique, but can you actually efficiently do that technique? See that? I mean, that's the main thing. Can you do what you actually say you can do or want to do? So that's internal power centers. And then you're also getting started with Chi Power. You're getting the Chi Power poster, which shows you the internal organs for part of the exercises. You're getting a sample workout. You're getting a seminar that goes along with it that was done way back when. So you're getting a lot of value inside of the Mind Force library just with those first three. I could probably sell the first three for the entire price. It's really that good. Next, we come up to Manipulation, the Master Secrets of Covert Persuasion, Hypnotic Influence. This is my first hypnotic influence book that I wrote back in 2001. Stands the test of time. Part of the manipulation course. Again, another curriculum. And again, I break down very simply and systematically how you can get hypnotic influence to work for you. Both covertly, right? Covert persuasion, being able to persuade somebody where they don't know it. Hypnotizing somebody when they don't know it by using your energy, by using your focus, and using your words. Very powerful stuff. But again, it's not powerful if you don't go through it and drill. You know, I've always said that, like I said, I've made it, I've almost given you too much. It's almost too much because most people won't be disciplined enough to put together a ritual that's going to make it happen. Unfortunately, that's the way it goes. But for those of you that will discipline yourself, you're going to get really good at it. Anything that is worth doing right. And worth doing right is going through the process and drilling, putting in the flight time. Next, we come to 12 devices that that instantly hypnotize. And this is all about hypnotic devices. You've seen these hypnotic devices. Well, I'm going to give you the 12 most powerful ones that you can use, again, for manipulation, hypnotic influence. They're powerful. They work. Never seen anything else like this on the market. Again, these are things that even if you isolate them out for the price that you're getting from all of them, it's a phenomenal value. The Hypnotic Influence Blueprint. That's got everything. It's got covert persuasion. It's got stage hypnosis. It's got putting people into inductions. It's got self-hypnosis. It's got mindset. Everything is in Hypnotic Influence Blueprint. Now, I've never done stage hypnosis, but I've studied it. And when I first started producing, hypnosis books, people would say, well, hey, can you give me some information on stage hypnosis? And I consulted with some stage hypnotists and we worked on things. And so I brought it together for you. Do I do that? No. But if you wanted to investigate that and start to practice that, it's there. And then the Crown Prince is the closed door self-hypnosis manual. Goes into all the self-hypnosis, auto-suggestion, self-talk, subliminal suggestions. Everything is packed in that book. And again, every one of these books or manuals have a course attached to it. So this is a good way for you to get started and say, okay, let me get an hors d'oeuvre here of self-hypnosis. Then I want to take it to the next level. That's why I always encourage you get access to the inner circle, because you're going to start learning these things. And if you become a member of the inner circle, you automatically get access to the curriculums as they come up. You can't beat that deal. But that's if you want to learn. If you want to just buy books and put them on your shelf and do nothing with them, well, that's totally up to you. And then we go into the Hypnotic Abundance Effect, which to me is one of the simplest and yet most profound books, because I break down that hypnotic abundance effect and why you can create abundance through this hypnotic influence. And a lot of people will say, that book is so thin, but the value is there. There's one book here that's missing that I have to go back and add. I just noticed it. I'm glad I'm going through this. The book that's missing is Magneto, the Mind Force Attraction Manual. Wow, it's not on there. We got to get it. We have to add it to there. Which Magneto in and of itself has so many techniques for prosperity, consciousness, abundance, creation, manifestation, it'll blow you away. It's going to be added. Don't you worry about that. I can't believe it's been so. And I just created this site about 4 months ago. I had my assistant do it, my tech people. And when I reviewed it, I don't know why I missed Magneto. But anyway, Magneto is going to be added. And Magneto is one of those books that you're going to want to read over and over again. Again, it's only like 50 pages, maybe a little more. But it's not the amount of pages that matters. It's the amount of valuable content that you're getting in those pages. Hypnotic Abundance Effect, the same thing. Mindset Blueprint. Many of you have probably downloaded that for free. I've given that away for free many times. I've made it part of the 7-day inception. But it's super powerful. That by itself, that book, is a springboard to your mindset domination, to your success, your prosperity consciousness. It's right in that book. So that's the Mind Force library. So where do you start? And also we have Dim Mak Secrets, which is death point striking. It's a martial arts technique. And so I wrote that book way back when I was primarily coming at this from the martial arts standpoint, pressure points for healing, which is pressure points for healing. And then Secrets of Self-Defense. I wrote that back in the 90s. And I finished it early 2000s. I think maybe late 90s, early 2000s. And that's all about self-defense techniques and concepts, methods. Really good book. Again, cut to the core. I don't mess around with trying to, add extra pages just because. The reason why authors add extra pages is not because of any other reason other than the publisher wants them to add pages. Because it's proven that most people don't even read the books that they have. I mean, I've got tons of books. I haven't read all of them. Ones that I was really honing in on, I have, and I'll blaze through them pretty quick. So where do you start with all this value, all these programs? Where do you start? You start where your interest lies. So if you're into business, I'd start at Immersion. And then I'd look at going into the Immersion curriculum and getting more details on that. If that was my interest, my primary interest. If my primary interest was the hypnotic influence, I would start with manipulation, I'd then go to the hypnotic influence blueprint, closed door, self-hypnosis, 12 devices, hypnotic abundance effect, in that order. By the way, you see Mind Force Manifesto up there. That's now the mindset blueprint. For a while, it was named that, and I just haven't changed the image out. So if you're wondering where the Mind Force Manifesto is, it's the mindset blueprint. It's had a couple different names over the years, but that's okay. So now, if you were interested in doing the Chi, I would obviously start at the Chi Power Blueprint. But like I said, if you really want to get good with the Chi, you got to go in the inner circle. Bottom line. Or do the Sequence Masterclass. Sequence Masterclass has the advanced Chi video with it these days. And that's a phenomenal training course in and of itself, where you can get dynamic training about Chi. And once you get through the inner circle the first year, then there is what's called the closed door system. And the closed door system, let me see if I have access to the closed door system. I'll bring it up here for you real quick. The closed door system, very few people make it to the closed door system because they've got to make it through the inner circle, the closed door system, and it's expensive. And we teach you exercises and techniques, and there's not as much content because you're learning super advanced Chi techniques that you're not going to learn anywhere else. Things like liquid Chi, fractal images, supersets, advanced Chi training, several different advanced Chi training videos. From the first one, you're going to learn the C exercise, the O exercise, vortex sitting exercise, and that's advanced. And so if you want to do Chi training, you start at that level with the Chi Power Blueprint, and then you go to the next level. You want to do meditation, you start with the Mind Portal. But in order to get really good to meditation, I would recommend you get the Mind Portal or the Quantum Maximizer, because that's meditation, right? So you can go off in these little tangents. Internal power centers, obviously, internal power centers. Although, see, the reason I wrote all these books is because they all integrated based on what I was learning. So I started learning martial arts, and then I went into the Chi, and then meditation was natural with the Chi, and then meditation led me to hypnotic influence, hypnosis, subliminal, right? Messaging, that kind of thing. And then the psychic, as my energy started to develop, you become more intuitive and more perceptive. And so that was the psychic aspect, right? So, and then abundance becomes clear when your energy becomes clean and your mindset becomes focused, you can then manifest more to your life. Does that make sense? So that's really what it's about. So it depends where you want to start, is going to depend on what you get out of the Mind Force library. And I would recommend that you, once you get the books, is you make that decision and you say, this is where I want to start. Because I've had many clients and students over the years that start in almost every one of these areas. I've had people come to me as coaching clients that started out more straight line business. And then they said, hey, I have an interest in this energy stuff, tell me more about that. And then we put them in that direction. I've had a lot of people come in, obviously, into martial arts because we used to advertise in martial arts magazines. That was way back 20 years ago. Now it's more of a normalized type of person. Whatever normal is, right? So that's the advantage of the Mind Force library. So you can get a lot of value out of the Mind Force library. And then you can take it to the next level if you desire with all the other training. Inner Circle, like I said, you get access to the Inner Circle. You're going to get access to all the curriculum anyway. You buy the master system, you get access to everything at once. I've got everything laid out for you. The curriculum is step by step by step, and you can access it at whatever level you want. So if you want to access it at the highest level, which the highest level would be the 12-week immersion, and hire me as a coach and a mentor, and I step you through the process. That's the highest level. That's probably the most investment, because you're getting my time. Anytime I have to break my time away, it's gonna be more of an investment. Do it on yourself, you're gonna get more. If it's more of a group setting, a little bit less. That's the way it is. Pretty simple stuff. Anyway, any questions you might have, let me know. But I think this is a pretty good overall understanding of the Mind Force library, how it fits, how you can use it, what to focus on when you go into it, and then what the progressive steps are. And of course, if you have any questions, I always offer 20-minute consultation, mindset clarity call, and I'm happy to answer any of your questions as it relates to that. A lot of times people will call me and say, I got this course or that course. What's my next level? How do I get to the highest level the quickest? And I'll show you how to do that as well. Anyway, thanks for watching. I've enjoyed sharing this information with you, and have a great day.